Since the Wii U was revealed at E3 2011, I have seen plenty of comments saying that system looks great, but I'm not gonna buy it with that controller. I'd buy it if they put a normal, traditional, conservative controller without a screen in it. And to that, I say this in good faith and not even trying to attack you or dispute you, but literally, if you just want the Wii U, but without the tablet controller, just go ahead, stick with your 360 or PS3, or buy one of those systems if you haven't already. Because literally, without the tablet controller, there's no point in the Wii U even existing. And I say that from the standpoint of, yes, Nintendo could come out with an HD system that, Mario and Zelda and Kirby and F-Zero and Star Fox will be there in HD, and it'll be just like the 360 and PS3, but, with Nintendo stuff there. And that's the problem. It'll be just like the 360 and the PS3 with Nintendo stuff thrown in. And that can appease the Nintendo fans who will buy a system just to play the core franchise, Nintendo's core franchises and nothing else. But it can't sustain or justify an entire new platform for the duration of a new console cycle. Really, if Nintendo can't survive without differentiating themselves, if instead of the Wii, we got a GameCube 2 that was basically just like the PS3 and 360 with a traditional controller. There's no room for Nintendo to have had any sort of success like they've had with the Wii. And I say that not from the standpoint of they wouldn't have gotten. Of course, they got a lot of casual gamers with the Wii with their new controller and their new outreach to expand their market. But the thing is, can our industry, can our core, the hardcore traditional console purchaser, is there really room for three systems that are basically the same? I mean, if you have the 360 and PS3 with these, comparable games, comparable performance, and a comparable selection of, then you have a Nintendo system that's just like the other two, probably with worse online, frankly, in the seventh generation, knowing Nintendo, and with really nothing to set it apart aside from the fact that it has a handful of the Nintendo in-house staples, Mario and Zelda and Metroid. I really don't think Nintendo could have made a viable system this generation. The Wii had to differ. If Wii didn't differentiate itself, it would have got lost in a bunch of noise created by Microsoft and Sony. In the same way that the GameCube sort of got lost in a bunch of noise made by Microsoft, by Sony and Microsoft. There's there's no point in Nintendo making something that's just like the other systems. This and basically I'm just saying Nintendo has to offer something that no other system can do with Wii U. That's what the Wii U has to be. It has to be unique. It has to have features and capabilities that the other systems can't match out the box. And if it can't do that, there's really no point in having a new system. So that's what I have to. So the idea that Nintendo has a great system, all you have to do is give it a traditional controller and scrap the tablet controller. It's really, even if you mean it like in favor of Nintendo, like if you like Nintendo and just think they should just scrap the tablet controller, really you're just go ahead and just buy a PS3. That's pretty much the experience that the Wii U would be, and that experience is going to be 7 years old by the time, or 6 years old by the time the Wii U hits store shelves, and they're not interested in replicating that. And as for the controller itself, come on, really, just give it a chance. We haven't even seen the full extent of its capabilities. Get it in your hands before you insist that you hate it and you can't play it. And as people, unlike the DS, the mostly good when they first revealed the DS. I've heard mostly good feedback on it, and in the reviews and the hands-on impressions of E3, mostly good impressions, a few negative ones, a few so-so ones. The Wii Remote, when they showed that, overwhelmingly positive. A few so-so, hands-on reviews. The Wii U's tablet controller, everything I've read about it from anyone who's used it hands-on says that it feels great and it works perfectly. So, and if I know on one hand that it looks really gigantic, and if you're worried about it, it's basically a tradition. It's basically exactly like a 360 or PS3 joypad, except for it has a screen on there. And while the screen itself is pretty big, this just looking at it, I could if you actually see it in someone's hands, it's not like holding an iPad in your hands. Like it's not like holding a full size tablet in your hands. It's like holding, like a smaller. It's like holding a traditional controller with a screen, which is pretty much exactly what the Wii U's tablet controller is. It's a traditional controller with the screen. So if you're just worried about it not, being suited to a traditional experience, then I really wouldn't worry about that because it has, ABXY, the Z buttons, two extra triggers, two analogs, a D-pad. You're good to go. And that's not even considering what they could put on the touchscreen. So that's what I have to say about that. Thank you very much for watching.